Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Again, another early show. I got everybody to bed. Allergies have been really kicking my butt, my little one's butt. But everyone's good now. So let's start our Prove Me Wrong. I wanted to go over a few of our codes tonight because I just feel like I can't stress them enough. I cannot stress these codes enough. I don't think that people understand how powerful these codes are. So I'm going to go to page 1. We're going to read on page 1, just right here in the beginning of our code, right off the back, okay? It's going to talk about definitions. 114. A, the first definition that it's giving you, a felony, as used in Article 6, 1 of the Revised Constitution, means any offense that is defined by the jurisdiction wherein the offense occurred as a felony. As a felony, okay? Serious offenses, as used in Article 5.1 of the Revised Constitution, include, okay, these are just serious offenses. These aren't even felonies. These are just serious offenses. Those crimes specifically enumerated in Article 6.1 and any other offense involving a disregard of the interests of the tribe as a whole. Did you hear that? A disregard of the interests of the tribe as a whole. I just think that's crazy. As a whole, do you understand? As a whole, that's so many of us. B, misconduct or gross neglect of duty. Now, these are for our election board. This is for our election board. Okay, because I'm still trying to figure out how Mr. Aguilar was able to run and how he's able to still sit there in that seat. And I come on every day and I keep telling him, let's go get that. Let's go move him. Let's go take our seat back. We need to move. We need to seriously look at our codes and start saying, you know what, Mr. Aguilar, you don't need to be in that seat anymore. You need to step down. You need to let somebody who should be there sit there and do right for our people. Somebody who can understand these laws that we go by, interpret them, and implement them in our everyday life. This is my goal. I truly do not feel with every bit of my body that Mr. Aguilar has no business sitting in that seat. And I keep saying, I'm going to go take that seat. We need to go take that seat, and we do. We need to remove him from that position. There is no reason that he is still there. There's just no reason he is still there. C, moral turpitude. Y'all should look that one up. Gabe looked that up. Oh, I'm sorry. Robert looked that up. I really need to get used to that. E. E. Now, these are just serious offenses. These aren't felonies. These are serious offenses that our election board should be looking at. Driving while intoxicated, DWI. That doesn't say aggravated. That just says DWI. Our president and Mr. Cervantes both have aggravated DWIs. They both have felonies. Frizzell, I mean, this is just so mind-blowing. Oh, I forgot. I couldn't tag Gray Lives Matter, Chihuahua Whale, and Apache OG. You guys keep hiding yourselves. Well, Gray Lives Matter don't, but Apache OG and Chihuahua Whale, you keep taking your stuff off and like blocking yourself or something. But I wanted to tag you all because you all like to share my things and you really help point out a lot of things I need to address. So if you could watch and share again. I noticed one of my videos you shared got 100 views just on your share. That's great. That's really good for us, because 100 views, good or bad, it's 100 views on just the one video you shared. Going to all the other people that shared my video, it's really encouraging to see all this sharing and viewing and commenting and liking and hearing from all our people, not just me. It's really, really good, whether it's good or bad. Okay. And then, okay, after we finish with that, you know, these definitions, their duties, okay? It's things they should know because, well, they're the election board and they signed a paper saying they do know that. Page 6. Page 6. Am I on the right one? Yes. 1 to 12. Again, removal of the entire board. Isn't that crazy? Of the entire board. The tribal president, with the consent of the tribal council, shall have the authority to remove the entire election board if the board as a whole has been guilty of 1. Gross neglect of duty. Guilty. B. Failing to substantially perform those duties prescribed by the code and or the revised constitution, and or C. Seriously damaging the legitimacy of the election process and, as a result, tribal government as a whole. They need to be gone. They allowed this man to run. One of my other videos I did, somebody had commented that they had only gone back 6 years for Mr. Aguilar's background check. So I'm going to go ahead in a little bit and post all the way back. I'll just post the felonies myself because they were presented with it and they're not sharing that with us. They're not trying. They're not even trying to... They're just not trying to do anything with us. Everything is a secret. Myself I am a huge proof of that. I mean, they're working really hard to stop me. Really, really hard. So I feel that it's important that I get out as much as I can before they silence me. Before they try to imprison me for expressing my rights, you know, exercising every right I have. Before they do that, okay, let's go on to this. I also have page 9 here. Page 9, these are some of the duties of the election board, okay? Page 9, 135, background checks. The election board shall cause background checks to be conducted on each candidate to determine eligibility. Each candidate shall be required to sign a written consent to the background check. Potential candidates will be strongly cautioned that any ineligible individual attempting to hold an office for which they are disqualified under the revised constitution of the Mescalero Apache tribe is subject to criminal penalties of 181. Wow, we're gonna have to look that up because that's pretty interesting. 181. That has to be just right here. We'll read that one too. Then you go down to these 136, candidate eligibility and conflicts of interest. Council, y'all should read that. Eddie, Gabe, read it. I mean, Gabe, this is pertaining to you specifically, so you should read it so you understand where I'm coming from when I say, let's go over there and get our seat back from that man. Let's get him out of there. This is what I'm talking about, because you should have never been in there to begin with. So we just need to go in there and just clean out that whole office and send you home to do whatever it is you do, and let us fix our tribe. Let us fix our tribe. Let's just get you out of there and send you back to your couch, wherever you go. I don't know where you go. fix our tribe. Let's start fixing our tribe. Take it back from this president who has failed us and fix our tribe. Okay, let's get our people some homes, things just that they could use here. Laundromat, other stores, some chains. Get some more jobs going, since we just seem to be letting all our tribal members go and replacing them with all these non-natives. I just think it's insane that these people can devote 30 plus years of their life to you and you're just going to let them go. Why? You don't want to pay them? Let's see. Candidate eligibility and conflict of interest A. The election board shall notify any candidate it has determined as holding a position of or interest which is in conflict, as described in Article 8 of 4 of the revised Constitution, with the candidate serving in elective office if his or her candidacy is successful, that resignation from such position or interest must occur prior to inauguration day of the term to be served. Man, Gabe, it's like every time I open this book, I just find another violation. Another violation that you've committed. I mean, you've had help along the way, which is why I'm reading all this, because we just need to replace this whole election board that allowed this to happen, that allowed us to have you run and be voted for, you know. B, all candidates shall be required to sign an affidavit testifying that they shall resign from their position or dispose of any interest which creates a conflict of interest, and such conflict is found to exist by the election board. Well, we know that's not going to happen because they're not trying to find anything. C, this section shall not be interpreted as requiring an individual to resign or otherwise act to terminate or conflict in order to become a candidate. Now go down a little more. We're going to skip D because that talks about school board a little bit. But here's 137, pardons by the tribal president. This is what we're asking. In a little bit I'll share what we're asking from Mr. Aguilar. If he ran, then this is what we need to see. This part right here is what he needs to provide, so that I can stop saying he shouldn't be sitting there. Let's go take our seat back and send him home. Okay, this is why I say this. 137, pardons by the tribal president. Any candidate claiming that he or she has been pardoned by the tribal president and that therefore that he or she is eligible for candidacy must attach a copy of the pardon to the statement of intent. Election board, have you all seen that letter? We'd like to see it because we're asking for that letter now. Furthermore, the election board may request that the candidate present an original for inspection by the election board. Obviously, they did not do that. They did not do that. 138, certification of candidates and list of eligible voters. Okay. A, the election board shall, at least 20 days before the election, 1, review all filings received, 2, certify as eligible any and all candidates which have qualified to run for election. 3, contact all unqualified candidates and state the reason for their not being qualified. Did anybody call Mr. Aguilar and tell him this? Such notice of ineligibility shall substantially take the form of that in the appendix to the code. And if the candidate is not qualified due to clerical error or filing, oh, we know that's not the problem. I'm sure that Mr. Aguilar had no problem writing out his name and all that info. He just, left out the part about his felony. Interesting, huh? Pretty important. You'd think he would want to include that. He would want to tell his people about his past. Now it says to go to Page 18, 181, penalties. Penalties, Section 8A. Any person found guilty of willfully and knowingly voting more than once in any election, voting although ineligible to vote, casting an improper ballot, otherwise intending to improperly affect election results, bribing or intimidating voters, the election board members, the administrative assistant to the tribal council, or any other individual with the intent to improperly affect election results. Mr. Aguilar, you better start explaining these. 5, detaining, destroying, and altering ballots or documentation pertaining to election results. Or 6, refusing to obey election board orders to leave the voting place where the board has determined that such person has violated the code or otherwise violated this code. And then it has like your imprisonment. So these are just things, I mean, it's interesting, because you just find out more and more that Mr. Aguilar needs to be answering to. I mean, 1814, there's one you could answer us. The removal of the whole board because they did not do their duties. And it's just listed here, everything you all are supposed to be doing. Literally, 127, general duties. Training of the election board meetings. I just don't understand how we're able to allow you all to stay there, allow Mr. Aguilar to stay there, when none of this process was completed. Now y'all go, if you have your code book, go to page 37. Let's go to 37. I try to make this really simple because they're not reading it. For some reason, our council, our leaders are not reading this. Maybe, I don't know if maybe they're not understanding how to find things. So let's just do it by page, okay? So page 37, you're going to go up to 215, 216, 217. That's a lot. It's a lot, okay? This is talking about our courts. Let's see the name of this chapter here. Chapter 2, Tribal Courts. 215, Judicial Conflict. No judge shall act in any case in which he has a direct interest. I think Judge Dahl has proven that she's very interested in me. 216, Removal of a judge. Any judge of the Mescalero Apache Tribal Court may be suspended or removed for cause upon the President's recommendation, after notice and hearing held by the Tribal Council of the Mescalero Apache, of the Apache Tribe of the Mescalero Reservation by a majority of the elected members of the Council. So my question to this statement here is, how are we supposed to suspend or remove a judge upon the President's recommendation if he put her there? Who do we go to then? This is why it states where the judges come from. This is why they put in our code, this 213A. The Mescalero Apache Tribal Court shall consist of as many judges as the Tribal Council authorizes. That's so crazy. That goes along with all of this. Our Constitution doesn't say that. So they kind of just went around it. You know, kind of tweaked it so they could get around it. And bring in all of their abusive judges. This judge, oh my God, Dahl. I don't know why it's so hard for me to remember this crazy lady's name. Maybe because I'm always referring to her as the crazy lady. But yes, this crazy Judge Dahl. Maybe that'll help me. She loves to abuse her power. She just can't understand when she's wrong, when you prove her wrong by this book And then we just continue to allow her to sit in our court. Last week I really had confidence or faith in our court, in Judge Caneswa. He was my judge, supposed to be. But he was just a puppet. He was just their puppet. He just moved along with what they said. And it just really opened my eyes to him, because, you know, this man is someone I really had a lot of respect and faith in. Just lost in one morning. All for these people that are violating our rights, and you're just sitting there letting them, and letting you do it too, helping you even. Disqualification of a judge. Whenever a party to any action or proceeding, civil or criminal, shall make and file an affidavit that one judge of the judges before whom this action or proceeding is to be tried and heard cannot, according to the belief of the party making the affidavit, preside over the action or proceeding with impartiality, that judge shall be disqualified and shall proceed no further. Now, you all in my hearing, I literally read all this. And then they went out, and all the judges went and spoke about my case right there next to the courtroom door, where I could hear all of it, as well as Mr. Cervantes just sat there twiddling his thumbs over his belly. Like they didn't hear nothing. Like they couldn't hear these judges discussing my case that was already decided. You just go back in there and you tell her, I'm going to come back in, and that's when I'll come back in. And then you just grant the order and don't let her say anything. Our courts have a lot of cameras all over. I requested that they be pulled, that we hear what they were discussing and who was present, because Mr. Caneswa insisted that nobody did that. Again, in one day, he lost it all. Our legal rights are also on this page 38, right across from 37. Page 42. 221. Listen to this one, guys. Relations with the court. No member of the tribal council, tribal executive staff, tribal president, or member of the Apache tribe of the Mescalero Reservation shall obstruct, interfere with, or control the functions of the Mescalero Apache Tribal Court, or influence such functions in any manner except as provided in the code, or when called upon by the court for advice or information to do so, will be a violation of Chapter 24 to Rules of Criminal Procedure. Man, I mean, these are just crazy, crazy. I just don't understand how you all are just ignoring this. How you all continue to try and violate my rights with these illegal orders. They're illegal. Every one of the orders that I have in my possession are illegal. I shared them with you all last night, so you all could see for yourself these illegal signatures, these illegal statements. The whole process was just a joke. It was just so disrespectful to our codes, you know, to have this book and then to not even have any regard for it, to just nothing. It's just crazy to me. I just can't understand it. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how you all are allowing this. I just cannot wrap my mind around it. Right here, go to page 46, 2311. I hope that you counsel really look at these, even general counsel. I hope you look at these and listen, and if you don't understand, call me. we can talk about them together, and maybe if I'm misinterpreting them, you can help me understand as well, because that's your job, isn't it? 2.3.11, restraining orders and injunctions. The court, upon holding a hearing, may issue temporary restraining orders or permanent injunctions upon receiving evidence that there is probable cause that irreparable harm will occur in absence of action by the court. I had a restraining order granted on nothing, literally on a felon's written words, I guess. No proof, no evidence. And then they had the nerve to tell me I was violating my restraining order when Mr. Cervantes' brother called me out, when my own brother called me, or I guess you could say called me out. So you all that are doing this, you need to understand every way that you're violating myself and yourself. I just don't understand how you're not seeing this. So here in a little bit, I am going to share all of their felonies, because I don't know why our election board would even go back just 6 years. It doesn't matter. We have 30-year-old children committing crimes, felonies. 30-year-old children committing felonies, and it needs to be known. People need to see it. I have now a personal issue. You know, this fight for me is become more than just this one fight. It's more than just a plant now. It's the fact that these people are telling me that I'm not going to medicate, when they probably helped do this. So until I can get that going, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on going and keep on going. I really hope Gray Lives Matters, Chihuahua Well, Apache OG are listening. Help point out all these things you guys like to point out. So I can address these things, you know. I'm still wondering about the things I addressed this morning. It's just crazy to me that my people are over here suffering, trying to get by, but we have Darlin and Robin over there at the stronghold just grabbing blankets and purses, and Frizzell said we can. So my question is, okay, if Frizzell said you can, is this coming out of Frizzell's pocket, or where is this funding coming from, and what were they for? I mean, if it's coming out of Frizzell's pocket, fine. It's none of our business what he purchases for you all. But if it's not, and he's just telling you, go ahead and go and get all that, and just tell him I said, then we all should be able to do that. All of us. There's a lot of you with feasts coming up. Go get some Pendletons. Go get some bags, things to give away. These are things that should be answered, because, man, that's a lot to just walk in and have the right to do that. Especially when your people are asking so much about all these funds that we have a right to ask about. Unemployed or employed, we have a right to ask where all this money is going. Gray Life Matters thinks that because you're unemployed, all you want is money, money, money. That's right. I do. I want to know where all the money went for my people's homes. I would love to know where that money went for my people's homes. Why it's been so long since we've had a home built. But we always have this money coming in for homes. So we're told, and then it's never brought back up on the table. That's just it. I hear we're bringing in trailers. How true is that? And who gets these trailers, and what are the conditions, and How hard will it be for our people to meet and qualify for these homes? I mean, man, you all just really get these obstacles going for your people. Alfred, no, this is just enough. We got a concert coming up this weekend on the 8th. Please make sure that those masks are worn. We've had a huge spike. I cannot believe the spike. Man, there's just so much that we have unanswered. Eddie's $24,000 for lights. Lights for our children. Lights for literally all our children. We have all these felons leading us. Gabe, Tyner, Frizzell. Bringing in more felons to take over these departments. Because we can't forget about Mr. Marlon Stevens. And although he might be gone, he sure came and made a huge impact on us financially. Jamie, Sharon. You can leave. We don't need you. We have plenty of tribal accountants. Know that office inside and out. Who trained Sharon? Who trained Sharon to do that job? I mean, all these people just training people. Gabe's sister, when she got her job, did she start and know it, or did somebody come and train her too? I mean, I could just keep going. Gray Lives Matter says, let's keep going. Let's bring it all out. So let's look at all of it. What happened to our old bingo hall? Who lost that funding? Who messed that up? And are they working again during this COVID where they called back to work right away? I'm sure she was. Go through that in. Let's pull all these directors. Let's see what they're doing. It's coming. It's coming. So in a little bit, you all stay tuned. I'll post all these felons' histories since our election board is not following their codes, since our president, our vice president, and council, chief counsel, or whatever she is, Nelva, Tyner, all of them are just not able to follow this, you know. So I'm going to just keep helping. Just keep on reading these codes. If there's something I'm misinterpreting in these codes, somebody feel free to educate me. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, what I'm saying wrong. If I'm not getting the proper, you know, words out, if I'm not getting that meaning out, let me know. I'm still waiting to go down and talk to my council. I'm still waiting for our council to have a meeting, a general meeting, so this can stop and we can just ask ourselves, put these rumors to rest. But I'm really afraid that these aren't rumors because they're just hiding. They just refuse to speak with us at all. So it's really scary. But I'm serious, you all. We got to get up. We got to go down to that office and we got to get that felon out of that office. Send him home. Let him do whatever he wants at home. Whatever you want at home, Gabe, just go do it at your own home. You have no business sitting in that office. Eddie, we're still waiting for you to respond to these serious questions here, Ardina. All you all literally have to do is talk to your people. Do you think that if I go away that it's just going to stop? No, our people still want to know. Our people still have a right to know what's going on. So, speak up, everybody. You look at these charges and you ask him how he's able to sit there if it tells us he's not. If this code tells us that that man should not be running our tribe, then he needs to be removed from that seat. We need to put somebody in that seat who knows what they're doing, who knows how to implement our codes and respect our rights, who doesn't get all bent out of shape when we question them. Other tribes have these open meetings, a pattern of general meetings, so that they know what their people want, what their people think. We're sure living in the Stone Ages. He just addresses us with his ridiculous COVID updates, but won't address the serious questions. We could have all went up on the CDC website and got all our own updates right there. But he can't update us on all these rumors, he says. Please address these rumors, Mr. Aguilar. I will see you all in the morning or in a few hours. Just remember, don't let them violate your rights. Speaking what you know is not wrong. Speaking our laws and pointing out all the things that are being done is not wrong. It is not against the law. It is against the law what they are doing to me, but not what I am doing. Gray Lives Matter, care to debate? Let's debate. Chihuahua Whale and Apache OG, what are you afraid of? If we already can't see your face, and then you comment these big old things, and then, oh, I'm going to erase it, erase it. That's just like, I guess childish. I would say chicken chomp. But it's okay. Pretty soon it'll all come out. No more being chicken chomp. You should be proud and be confident in what you're speaking of, what you're defending, not cowardly. But I'll see you all bright and early tomorrow. Remember, stay strong, Mescalero Apache strong. And yes, my sweet Yvonne, you all help me stay strong. Every day you all help me stay strong. I love you all. I'll see you. God bless you. Love you, Vaughn. Love you, Lonnie. My sweet babies. Mescalero Apache strong every day.